Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome to a video. We're here with the latest S.H.MonsterArts release, and this is King Ghidorah 1972. This is a premium Bandai release, at least here in Japan. For other regions, probably just your standard retail web store order. Now this is from the 72 movie, as he's mentioned there, which is Godzilla Tai Gaigan. So I do have the 72 Gaigan here, which is actually one of my favourite MonsterArts figures. Absolutely love this guy. Came out, I think it's about 2 years ago now, which is crazy to say it's been that long. I haven't actually put up a MonsterArts in a while, mainly because I've been trying to cut back on buying too many figures since I've been diving into a lot more other lines. So the MonsterArts I'm trying to narrow down more towards the ones that I like, which is, I'd say, the older series, especially the hairset stuff. I was originally going to pass on this release. So I got the Mecha 91 or 92 Mecha one, which I'm really happy with, and I was like, oh, do I really need another King Ghidorah? I had the 2019, or I should say I do have it, I've just boxed them up at the moment. But I saw this guy in the shop and he looked really good. Even my wife was impressed. I thought, yeah, damn it, I'm going to pre-order. Every release I can do a review, have some fun with it, try and find some room in my shelves to display it. If not, maybe I can sell it later on if needed. But I think if I was going to have one King Ghidorah in my collection, this is one that I wanted. That is why I did box up the 2019 King of the Monsters special colour version that I do have. But anyway, this arrived today. I haven't yet opened it, so it's all new for me. This is going to be a kind of a quick overview look at the figure, first impressions for it. I'm really keen to see what it looks like in person. So yeah, let me dive straight in and then we can check out what he actually does come with, because you know what? I don't even remember. I don't think he comes with anything. Even just looking at the box images, it's just the figure. So yeah, should just be King Ghidorah himself as a stand. Open. There we go. And cool. Actually, there isn't even a piece of paper explaining how to put it together. Okay, it's kind of printed on the box here. Let me move that. There we go. On the flaps, it just mentions that, and there is a QR code. So yeah, that's new, but let me move it around. Wow, he comes pre-assembled. Okay, this is pretty cool. Let me move it there. So one of the things that drives me nuts about the 2019 one, I'm sure anyone who's had their hands on it is a fiddly figure to say the least. You have to try and attach your wings and try and balance and stand in there. It just does not look... he looks cool once he's posed, but getting there, tedious. But this one, wings already attached, the head's already attached. Only thing it isn't is the tail, which we saw on the box. So yeah, really nice to see. I don't think there's any tape, so I think we can... Love that sound. Okay, we are already into the box. Put the page off to the side. Okay, so let's lift him up here. Let me move these pieces out of the way, and then plastic wrap. Oh yeah, check him out. Okay. I love those faces. Okay, move the plastic wraps to the side and get the tail, which is in its own little bit plastic wrapping. There we go, everything's well packaged. Let me put this together and then I can stand them up and we can check out the overall finish and detailing on this release. Okay, so I've got the tail. I was going to attach it off camera, but it'll be more fun to do it on camera. Just one giant peg, the two pronged tails come to a nice hip area, or a single joint. It looks like legs, right? Like super long legs. I'm pretty sure this way, no, I think this way would be more correct if we follow the no, which way? No. Yeah, that's kind of it. Actually, I might need to do this off camera so I can get a better grip. One moment. Okay, check him out. We have him up on the turntable here. Absolutely lovely gold colour. The sculpting on the scales is, I think, really cool. You get some which are down a bit flatter, some that flare out. Absolutely crazy detailing on this figure, I've got to say. The gold is really nice. It's not too shiny, it's not too flat, it's not really a yellowy or brown type colour. It really is a nice solid gold colour. Especially on the wings there with the kind of folded leathery type of a texture that you'd expect from wings on a dragon. It captures the light really well, so you get the kind of darker parts, brighter parts. Now I'm pretty sure there is some weathering as well in there. So it isn't just from the way the light hits it. It does have actual weathering on the body. We then also have a nice kind of red maroon colour for the inner mouth, and then obviously white and the dark pupils for the eyes. We also have a darker colouring for, would it be the fur? Golden fur behind his head there. So that is also a nice touch. I think there might be, I think the tail is mostly just gold from what I can tell. There are some other extra parts I come up with a tail, two tail parts join, so there is some additional weathering and the shading throughout the figure. I think it's one of those ones you kind of have to stare at for quite a while to really pick up all the different locations where it is like that. Even on the base of the neck, underneath here, there does appear to be some weathering, which is great to see. From what I can tell, I don't know if the eyes are, yeah, they've got that slight derpy look, right, which I do remember the old Tamashii Ghidorah suit does have, so I can't tell you for sure if the eyes look a bit derpy because it's really matching the suit, or if it's slightly derpy just due to the way it's made, because obviously there was an issue with a lot of older monster arts and figures, but I think this is definitely more just trying to match up with the suit. But those of you that are super fans of Godzilla and all the kaiju series, please do let me know in the comments below. But from what I can tell, I think this is actually a pretty accurate head sculpt. But at least for me, I would classify myself as a casual fan, or maybe slightly more than a casual fan since I do collect merchandise for Godzilla, but I'm not hardcore by any means. So at least for me, these heads look really good. If you're kind of like me who just enjoys watching the movies, you love like the suits and the kind of kaiju designs on that, I think you'll be really satisfied with this release so far. But yeah, that's it for the aesthetic look. I think, yeah, looking really good. I do notice a bit of a gap there in the neck piece. I think you might need to kind of play around. Yeah, that looks a bit better. So it seems like there's a fair bit of articulation in the neck. So yeah, let's pop them off a turntable so we can check out all the different points of articulation on this figure. So each of the three heads is articulated. You get the swivel and multiple points of articulation all the way up and down the necks, which feels super fluid and nice. In each one you can open up the bottom jaw of the dragon's mouth, and the tongue is firmly fixed so that when we don't get a point of articulation, unlike some other Monster Arts releases. So yeah, overall so far the neck part feels really nice. What is it, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to 12 points for articulation on that neck, on each one of the individual necks, I should say. Now coming down to the wing, as we saw in the boxes already attached, we have one main joint where we can swivel this, and then there is the lower one as well. So it gets, you can kind of lift it up and down a little bit to get additional range of motion. We don't get any swivel or anything like that. So it literally is just up and down, as you can see here. But yeah, you can get a really decent range of motion. This other wing feels a little bit more stiffer. I think after you play for a little bit more, it should loosen up. But you get the similar range of motion here. Now coming down to his chicken legs. Yeah, nice swivel range of motion there. Again, everything feels really fluid, and now it's all good. And then you get a straight leg, and actually a decent range of motion in that knee area, and then you get the ankle swivel and pivot. So actually the range of motion in the leg is actually really nice. I think the one part, like, you probably don't get too much range of it when you really articulate it. I think probably due to the fact the tail will hit, but you can definitely swing it in and around to kind of angle Ghidorah in different ways without too much issue, while maintaining the feet flat on the ground, which is a great sign. The tail itself, as we saw, it has a main joint where it pops on here. We get a bit of motion if you want them in a flying pose, otherwise you can have to bed it up so you can stand them. Then each one of the tail parts is lovely and fluid, with a great range of articulation. What's that? We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 10, 11, 12, again about 12 points of articulation throughout the whole tail for each one of them. And yeah, it feels really nice and fluid, where you can move and twist and bend in any which direction that you want to achieve the pose you're going for, which is great to see. So far, this is one of the best monster arts I've had in a long time in terms of hand feel, and everything in it just feels really nice, fluid, and the parts that are designed to articulate really well. Obviously we don't okay, there we go. The upper torso part here, there is some range of motion, so we get left and right. Bit more limited in terms of motion, but you can bend it forward quite far actually. So even on the torso and back, yeah, a great range of motion going out. And the weird thing is, when I looked at it out of the box for, I didn't even notice these joints, right? They blend in so well due to the sculpting on this figure. Now, since each one of these scales kind of sticks out, it casts a lot of shadows, it makes kind of gaps when there isn't any gaps there, if that makes sense. So what that means is all these points of articulation in the torso area here, depending on the angle you're looking at, you won't even notice it, right? Your eyes will just completely glaze over them because it blends in so well. I think that's why I'm finding this figure so enjoyable so far. Just because both in hand and aesthetically speaking, it's lovely with a nice range of motion. So yeah, anyway, coming back to this here, I think, is there even, no, I think, yeah, the top part here is one solid part, and you get one floating piece underneath, and then the hips underneath there. So 2 points of articulation above, yeah, which definitely opens up quite a wide range of motion. Okay, it's coming to the final thoughts with the 72 lineup here. Obviously 72 Godzilla and the 72 Gaigan, and then the 72 King Ghidorah. Now I actually do have Anguirus, but I have them boxed up currently, so I can't put them on display with these guys. But that's a pretty epic lineup, right? 4 monsters from the one movie. Really cool to see, especially since I know this is one of the favorites for a lot of fans out there. Now, as someone who just looks at this from a point of view of just cool fig, cool monsters, yeah, really cool. I'm digging all of them. I've actually, well, like I said earlier, love 72 Gaigan. The 72 Godzilla I also really like, especially since he does have that battle damaged head with the blood flowing out, which is great. And it definitely has that 70s, 60s, 70s chunky suit design, which is quite cool. And then yeah, Ghidorah here just looks so nice with the gold, the colour, the sculpting, as I mentioned earlier. And then the face is kind of goofy look, which pairs well with the Godzilla head, I would say. And then obviously I don't know, I feel like the 72 Gaigan design is just way ahead of its time, right? I feel like it's so much more refined and polished compared to the others there. But definitely all of them together looks really cool, especially with the gold colouring. And the actual weaving on the body. So yeah, really cool. I'm definitely glad I picked up this release. If you're on the fence, I highly recommend getting him, especially if you want a King Ghidorah in your collection, because compared to the 2091, this is hands down 10 times, 100 times, 500 times better than what that figure is. So yeah, I'm pretty happy actually. I think it's going to be my definitive golden King Ghidorah now going forward. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think about this release. Did you get it? Did you pass? And who else from the S.H.MonsterArts line are you looking forward to getting? There's definitely a few more figures coming out. We have it's not really, it's kind of a re-release line. I guess some of the classic hit S.H.MonsterArts figures are getting a re-release in the movie lineup. So it comes with a cardboard cutout of a movie poster. Pretty cool. It's a good way for them to do a re-release for those that don't have the originals. And then obviously we've got another Final Wars release coming up as well, which looks pretty cool, especially that spaceship. Really digging the look of that. I do have a couple of photos on Insta and a reel showcasing what was shown off at Tamashii Nations event earlier this month. So yeah, if you haven't seen, I do recommend checking those out. But anyway, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed this quick and high level overview look at the brand new 72 Ghidorah. But yeah, anyway, again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, cheers!